Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Bluesy Burke is one of those rare characters on General Hospital who can't be neatly defined in a single word or a quick description. She's layered, unpredictable, and carries a weight of history that seems to surface in every scene, even when the dialogue doesn't make it obvious. The way she walks into a room, the pauses she takes before she answers someone, and the small gestures she makes when she thinks no one is looking, all of those details add up to a portrait of someone worth watching carefully. General Hospital has introduced countless characters over the years, but Bluesy Burke stands out because she seems like she arrived with her own mythology already attached, as though she's lived a full life before stepping into Port Charles. And in many ways she has. To really grasp why she resonates with so many fans, you have to look at what makes her different. Bluesy isn't written as a one-note character, nor is she trapped in the repetitive cycles of love triangles and rivalries that often drive soap opera storytelling. Instead, she embodies complexity, the kind of character that feels authentic and flawed in a way that draws people in. Her interactions are often tinged with an unspoken sadness, a reminder that she carries burdens most characters don't even acknowledge. That's part of the appeal. She's relatable, even when her storylines stretch into dramatic or exaggerated territory. One of the things people notice right away about Bluesy is her presence. She doesn't dominate through loudness or aggression. Instead, she controls a scene with quiet authority. When she's in a room, it's almost as if the other characters instinctively adjust their tone and rhythm around her, like instruments falling in line with a lead performer. This subtle magnetism is one of her defining traits. It's not about charisma in the usual sense. It's about energy. She radiates an aura that blends wisdom, caution, and an edge of melancholy. That combination is what gives her the bluesy quality that fans have picked up on, even beyond her name. Another point to appreciate is the writing choices that have shaped her story arcs. Bluesy's dialogue often leaves space for interpretation. Instead of saying exactly what she feels, she hints, she withholds, she lets silences stretch just long enough to make other characters uncomfortable. This style of communication does two things. First, it adds depth to her characterization, making her feel like someone who's lived enough life to know that words can be dangerous. Second, it makes the audience lean in closer, paying more attention to her than they might to someone who's more obvious. The best characters in soap operas are the ones who make viewers think between the lines, and Bluesy delivers that consistently. The complexity of her backstory also deserves attention. While other characters might be introduced with a single clear motivation, Bluesy arrived with layers of implied history. Even when her past is only hinted at, you can sense that she's carrying regrets, debts, and maybe even secrets that the show hasn't fully explored yet. That anticipation is part of what keeps viewers invested. Every new revelation about her background feels like opening another chapter in a novel, rather than just filling an exposition. Fans can sense that the writers have left room to expand on who she is, which means her potential as a long-term character remains wide open. Bluesy's relationships on General Hospital also illustrate her uniqueness. She doesn't fit neatly into the standard categories of friend, lover, or enemy. Instead, she shifts depending on the dynamics of the moment. With some characters, she acts as a confidant, the kind of person who listens without judgment and offers insight without lecturing. With others, she turns into an adversary, but not in a typical soap opera way. Her conflicts are rarely about petty jealousies or romantic rivalries. More often, they stem from moral or philosophical disagreements. That makes her clashes feel weightier, as if they're about something larger than personal grudges. Her emotional range is another essential aspect to notice. Bluesy can go from detached to deeply vulnerable within the span of a single scene. One moment, she might hold her ground with steely composure, refusing to let anyone see through her. The next, she can reveal just enough pain or longing to break through that armor. This elasticity makes her unpredictable, which is a rare and valuable trait in a long-running show. Viewers never quite know which side of her they're going to get, but both sides feel authentic. The guarded Bluesy and the vulnerable Bluesy are equally real, and that duality creates tension every time she appears. The pacing of her storylines also sets her apart. While many characters are rushed into high-stakes drama, romances, betrayals, shocking twists, Bluesy's arcs often develop slowly. That deliberate pace mirrors her personality. She doesn't jump headfirst into situations. She studies them, weighs her options, and makes careful choices. Watching her is like watching someone play chess in a room full of people playing checkers. She doesn't move quickly, but when she does, her moves matter. This slow-burn storytelling gives her narratives staying power because they feel less disposable. Instead of being consumed and forgotten in a week, her arcs linger in the audience's memory. Bluesy Burke also represents something rare in soap operas: authenticity. Many characters are designed to serve specific functions, whether it's to provide comic relief, stir up conflict, or embody romantic ideals. Bluesy doesn't slot easily into any of those categories. She feels like a fully realized person, someone who could exist outside the boundaries of the show. That sense of realism is amplified by the subtle ways she reacts to the world around her. She notices things. She remembers details. She adjusts her behavior based on context. These small touches create the impression that she's not just responding to a script, but actually living her life in front of the camera. The musicality of her presence shouldn't be overlooked either. There's a reason the nickname Bluesy resonates so strongly with fans. She embodies the qualities of the blues genre: depth, sorrow, resilience, and soul. Her tone of voice often carries a weight that makes even ordinary lines sound profound. It's like hearing a note played on an old instrument, simple on the surface but filled with history underneath. That connection between her character and the feeling of blues music makes her stand out in a cast where not everyone has such a strong symbolic resonance. It's also worth considering the way Bluesy interacts with themes of redemption and forgiveness. She's not written as a saintly figure, nor is she portrayed as irredeemably flawed. Instead, she occupies a middle ground where her choices matter, and where she has to wrestle with the consequences of her past. That ongoing struggle makes her compelling, because viewers recognize that life is rarely black and white. Watching Bluesy navigate moral gray areas mirrors the way real people grapple with their own decisions. She makes mistakes, but she also learns from them. She hurts people, but she also tries to make amends. That balance makes her one of the more human characters in the series. Another significant element is the way Bluesy challenges other characters to grow. In her presence, people often reveal sides of themselves they normally hide. Sometimes it's because she asks difficult questions, other times because she simply refuses to play along with their pretenses. By holding up a mirror, she forces them to confront their contradictions. This role as a catalyst is subtle but powerful. Even when she's not the central figure in a storyline, her influence ripples outward, affecting the trajectories of other characters. That's part of why she feels so integral to the fabric of the show. The audience's reception of Bluesy Burke also highlights her impact. Fans have responded not just with admiration but with a sense of personal connection. She's the kind of character who sparks online discussions, fan theories, and debates about her motivations. Viewers project their own experiences onto her, seeing in her struggles echoes of their own. That level of identification doesn't happen by accident. It's a sign that the character has struck a chord on a deeper level. General Hospital thrives when its characters feel larger than life yet grounded enough to be relatable, and Bluesy fits that balance perfectly. Finally, Bluesy Burke embodies the idea that every person carries a story worth telling, even if it doesn't always come out in neat, dramatic bursts. Her presence on General Hospital is a reminder that nuance, patience, and subtlety can be just as gripping as explosions of drama. By focusing on her layers, her silences, her contradictions, and her quiet strength, the show has given viewers someone who stands out in a crowded cast. She may not always be at the center of the most sensational plotlines, but she lingers in memory long after the credits roll. The more you pay attention to her, the more you realize that Bluesy Burke is not just another character on a long-running soap opera. She's a study in how to create depth within a genre that often prizes spectacle. She's a reminder that real drama lies in the spaces between words, in the moments when someone chooses restraint over explosion, in the weight of past decisions carried into the present. And that is why Bluesy Burke has become one of the most compelling figures on General Hospital, a character who feels alive, layered, and unforgettable, a character who continues to give viewers reasons to watch closely, listen carefully, and keep coming back for more. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.